Link, 30 seconds. Batalana Ngaka. Ladies, let me introduce our first speaker. May I ask, what's your name?
My name is Shadidi, Clarence Shadidi Harding.
Shadidi, what are you doing here today?
Well, we are doing a photo shoot production here as well. It's kind of a multi-tasking effort here. So we're also we'll be talking with some new guys that are coming in. So as well, and shooting some guys for different things.
What kind of things? What's the expectation?
Expectation is to leave away with headshots, with some different changes and different looks for the model's portfolio. As well, we're also putting together a show package for models for Men's Fashion Week.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the Forte models, who organized this, why and how it works.
The effort was done by the men's director, and I assisted him. I'm the owner of Forte Models. We're a fairly new company here in New York, originating from San Francisco, really, formerly known as Single Oz Models. And so we are kind of kickstarting, getting this effort finally going here. And so we are really, pushing to get guys into this Fashion Week as a kickoff for.
Why men? You could choose kids. You could choose beautiful girls. You pick up male domination in the male industry. Why male models?
Male models because we found it to be, in a way, easier to manage. Styling easier, getting clothes, working with designers. It seems to be easier to get guys to, first of all, to find the guys and get the guys, than getting the women for fashion. Getting the women for fashion is more of a challenge. So,
but how do you, as an agency, make money? Like, what's the money, the commercial aspect of it?
So we're starting with the men, but eventually the women are there. The women are there. The women make more money than the men generally. But working with models, getting them booked for jobs.
How do you find those jobs? How do you find the gigs for the male models?
Well, there are a few ways that we do that. One is through some of the networks that are out there, as well, having direct relationships with casting directors, working with other model management companies and people that are in the industry that know about things that are coming up. So it's kind of networking.
Okay. How the competitive advantage for Forte model comes comparing to all the other agencies out there. There are so many agencies that have been out of business in the recent few years. Instagram changed the way we do business in the past. So now no one needs those casting directors. People just look at their numbers. That one has 10 million, that one has 1 billion views. So we'll hire the one with bigger numbers. How you plan to survive or thrive in the new environment that's in the next 5, 10, 20 years? What's your vision for your agency?
Well, we really feel that one of the things that has been happening in the industry is a resistance with diversity in the with models and other things. We know the economic, the marketing value, for example, of, let's just say, African Americans is more than $800 million. And it's substantial if it were an economy, a country in the world. So we plan on, dealing with models that are a diverse range that, we've been complaining, people have been complaining about the agencies not really representing that. So that's going to be one of our advantages. As well, we plan on working in social media in terms of getting exposure for our models and them becoming more of some type of a personality than just a model in an agency. As well, the traditional ways of working with casting directors and advertising agencies and that kind of thing. We plan on working with them too, because that still exists and that's part of the industry.
Okay. We're lucky today that we have this beautiful weather behind us and we have all that snow. How do you pick locations where you shoot. For example, I shoot at YouTube Space. I shoot at Breaking. At there are so many free places. Why do you need to go to, let's say, Champions, for example, and pay them if you can get so many other places that will have much better studios and it's free?
Well, we want to know about those free spaces. So when we finish today, you can tell me about some of those places that are free. But this is our first time using the studio. We've actually, I'm based in Queens in terms of my residence. So we've been actually using a studio there that is, it's a nicer studio and it's more inexpensive because it's on the outskirts. It's not in Manhattan. And so we're a little spoiled because
the Champion, like the name of the good studio, will bring the people for the auditions, and if you go to unknown place, less people will come, or because for example, YouTube, it's Google. Google is right there in Chelsea Market, so it's pretty known. So it's much nicer than this.
Well, I definitely, like I said, we're still kind of feeling our way here in Manhattan. There's some places that we go to that we know of. Here in Manhattan, Alchemy Studios we've used before. So yeah, it's good to know those things. We want to know those things. And Manhattan definitely is a place I think where it's more of a desirable location in proximity to the boroughs. It's kind of central, I think. And so I think we would have a better turnout with new people coming in, which we do have a few new people coming in today. So yeah, that's definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will follow with you further once you see some of our models and some of our other guests. And let's stay tuned. Cut. Wait. Okay. I just need. Rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first model who have worked with us a few seconds ago on the images project. May I ask, what's your name?
My name is timid Ahmed.
Timid, why do you model?
I model because it's a very unique path to walk on.
Okay. Do you think you have what it takes to be a model?
I hope so, but only time could tell.
What kind of gigs have you done as a model so far?
So far, I've only done some photo shoots, and it's just the beginning, so the fun hasn't really begun yet.
What do you think? What kind of shoots would you like to do?
I like to do shoots in nature and go somewhere nice with like a natural springs or perhaps a mountain or, something with like, a lot of color, a lot of vibrancy as opposed to, just working in a studio and, things like that. I like to be in the outside world.
Okay. What kind of brands would you like to be a face of? Which one would you like to advertise?
I mean, I'm not a very picky person. Whichever brand would like to have me, I'd be very grateful.
But if you have your way, your choice, what would be your choice? First one, just one.
My choice would be maybe H&M and Express because those are the two types of clothing that I wear most often. So it'd be cool to, be a model for them.
Okay. When you go home after the shoot, what kind of feelings do you have? Like, do you feel happy, sad, exhausted, expired? What do you feel usually after you done it?
Honestly, usually I feel very tired. I feel drained. Definitely not like I want to go do anything. I just want to kind of relax, be by myself, recollect my thoughts because, it takes a lot of juice out of, people are telling you do this, do that. It's like all this attention is kind of on you. And me personally, I don't really like it when too much attention is on me. So it kind of drains my energy a bit. So when I come home after a shoot, I just like to relax, watch some TV, lay in bed, simple things like that. Okay.
What do you think is different about male model? Are we more narcissistic people? We are just being picked by the audience. Like, what's special about being a male model?
I think beauty is a very feminine sort of trait. Everybody could be beautiful, but it's a feminine sort of trait. Beauty. But I don't know. I guess.
Male can be handsome.
I mean, male could be handsome. Of course, they could be handsome. But what's unique about them is Shit, I really don't.
What do you think is unique about you? Your experience as a model. Like, do you see that people, you walk on the street and girls follow you, look at you? Like,
No, I wish it was that way. Maybe that's how the media would have you think that, you know, girls are kind of like staring at you. I mean, girls do stare at you, but they don't like follow you around or anything. You know, if anything, people kind of just treat you better because, you know, you look a certain way and, you know, they have a certain regard for you. They give you a certain sort of status without me or, you know, any, you know, quote unquote good looking type of person has to do any work. You know, they do, but, you know, you just get this sort of special kind of treatment where you go, wherever you go. So it's kind of cool.
If no matter what you do, let's say you become a lawyer, doctor, have a profession, do you think good looks may help you in other professions?
I think good looks will definitely go. Having good looks is kind of like a weapon of sorts, you know, because you could use it for so many different things. It's a very good way to get your foot in the door. I'd say a lot of the jobs that I've landed haven't had anything to do with my credentials, just the way that I present myself, the way I talk, and even the way I look. You know, just the appearance is very they really do matter. They do. People who tell you that looks don't matter are lying to you because, you know, it sounds superficial, but we live in a superficial world, so you might as well be trying to play the game the best way you can, you know?
Okay. When people want to follow you and book you for the gigs, how they can, what's your Instagram, what's your following?
I don't have an Instagram. I don't like social media.
No social media whatsoever.
No social media
So if they want to book with you, they have to go to Forte Models.
Like in the olden days, or call me on the phone.
What's the email?
My email is my name followed by 97@gmail.com. timid97@gmail.com. Or you could text me. Text my phone.
What is it?
My phone number?
You want to give it? Or not?
Yeah, I'll give it. I don't mind. It's like 347-866-3954. Give me a call.
Okay, girls. Now you know. Thank you. Cut. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we have another male model next to me. May I ask what's your name?
Yeah, Andres Castro.
Andre, how difficult it is to maintain such a beautiful hair as a model?
People hate when I tell them this. I'm really low maintenance. All I do is just use the right shampoos, right conditioners, the right products.
Let's name which one in your mind is the
Nothing at like Walmart or anything like that. You have to go to like beauty stores, beauty supplies, Ulta Beauty.
one?
I use, well, I'm a hairstylist, so I use our brand is Aloxy where I work, so I use a lot of Aloxy shampoos and conditioners. A leave-in I use is the why?
Yes. Why those? What not?
Why those? I use things that are very moisturizing. So those products are very moisturizing. If you have curly hair, the most important thing is to keep it moisturized, and that's how you have good, healthy, curly, bouncy hair.
As a male model and a hairstylist, what do you think are the two things that connects those things? If it's too heavy for you, let me know. We're almost done.
Since the reason I do them, I'm very into fashion, so I do think they definitely go together. It just helps me work in two industries that allows me to be creative, allows me to be around creative people, and allows me to do creative things. So they definitely go together. Obviously, photo shoots, hair, and makeup is one of the most important things about a photo shoot for a model. So I think they definitely go hand in hand.
How one help the other? Let's say, being a male, you can win over a female hairstylist, or being a male model, how those things connect that gives you extra advantage. Is there?
Yeah, I mean, it gives you an advantage in the sense of
they trust you more.
They trust me more.
You do it for yourself. You have great hair.
Exactly.
You might do a great hair production.
Exactly. It's definitely I would hate to go to a hairstylist who's not stylish, whose hair is a mess. I wouldn't trust somebody with a messy hair to make my hair beautiful. So having good hair and maintaining the way you look is important, especially if people are coming to you as an expert.
Okay. Is there any advice for the someone who would like to become a male model, hairstylist, where to start?
Get yourself in beauty school. In New York, Actually, we have the lowest amount of hours that you need to become licensed. You just need 1,000 hours. You could do it in 8 months. It's quick. And just when it comes to modeling, you just have to put yourself out there. The more you put yourself out there, the more opportunity there is, the more people you meet. So
How do you find gigs as a model, male model? Is it Model Mayhem, Instagram? Where is the best one? Just put it down.
I've had some on Instagram. People have reached out to me just to do kind of certain photo shoots like that. I've looked at ads on, I think there's things on 360 Casting, sometimes even on Craigslist.
Do you think 360 casting works? They just charge money. I don't think there is that much gigs there.
I've heard good things.
Book something actually.
I haven't booked there, but when it was referenced to me, they said they had it reliable. Backstage, I've booked things on
Backstage
Backstage.
is real, yeah.
Backstage is real, and I have booked things on that, so that's legit. I haven't experienced 360 casting firsthand, but I've heard good things.
Are you planning to transition to movies and like acting and filmmaking?
I have done some kind of acting. I used to do theater. One of my most recent theater shows, I did West Side Story, and that's fun. So I definitely do have a passion for doing acting. So yeah, in the future, I definitely see myself doing acting, being in films, being on the stage.
If any of our audience would like to come to you as a hairstylist, how they can follow you, find you as a model, book you as a model, what's the way to reach out?
Sure. My Instagram is @_Lord Andres, LORDANDRES. Email is acmodel2011 @AOL.com. Hey, you can hit me up either way. I'll definitely get back to you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cut. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another model next to me. Would you please introduce yourself?
My name is T-Cash Muni Prasad.
How do you found out about the today gig?
So that gig, I was actually contacted by Shadidi, my manager, that me and him been.
On Facebook, on Instagram, how did he find you out?
Oh, I was actually on the street in Soho, and he just approached me at Starbucks, and then he was like, "You have gray hair. Why don't you consider modeling?" So I heard him out, and then I just gave it a try because I'm not shy for opening up to new things.
Have you modeled before?
Yeah, I have. I did a few shoots for G-Star, a campaign shoot with Mark Fisher, and then I did a shoot for Fashion Week a few months ago.
Okay. Is there any particular look that you know better than others, and you can teach the audience in a few seconds?
Like how?
Do you know any look that you do?
Yeah, I
What's
kind
your
of do
best
this. Kind of do this one pretty often. Like, are you looking at me? Sorry.
Okay. So how it's done? You get stiff. You get the
Yeah, I
clothes,
just
the eyes.
kinda just-
What's the key points for that look?
Just
You tilt your head a little.
yeah, I just tilt my head and square it up on my chest and just
Do you
use the
practice by
eyes.
the mirror?
No, that's how I look at girls.
You
So
practice with the girls. Okay. Is there a way for the audience to follow you on Instagram?
yeah, sure. My Instagram is _view Tcash, and I gotta spell it out.
Okay.
_view VIEW Tcash TE. No E. Damn, messed up. Sorry, we're gonna cut.
Thank you. Yes, we got cut. Next one. So that way we can have balance. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another model next to me. As you can see, we have different skin colors, and we'll try to build the color balance properly. It's a challenge actually to shoot. I often do the weddings, interracial couples, when someone is darker, someone is lighter, and it's a challenge. Hopefully, we'll do a good job in the color correction. May I ask what's your name?
Gavin Andrews.
Gavin, is there a way for the male model or for darker skin complexion, what you can do on a shoot that to make yourself look properly light up?
Well, one thing is don't look at it as like your darker skin is holding you back, because you're definitely stand out regardless of your skin tone. The darker you are, the better, and well, in my opinion anyway. Use your skin to power your interview. It's not like it's hindering you in any way. Darker skin,
Do you come a little bit further so to get more light on you, or you pick the spot where it has light, or you bring it up to the
I'd say
attention, or?
you pick the spot that you know you look the best in. We're having a certain skin tone. You work with it your entire life, so you know where you look good and you know where you don't. So it's just a matter of picking that right light where you look good in.
I see. Which brands, in your opinion, are more enticed towards using a person of a color as the model, as the spokesperson? What do you think would be more advantageous for someone like you?
When it comes to brands using people of color, I definitely say anything by Pharrell, like Billionaire Boys Club, whether it's like anything like that, ice cream. They tend to use darker models for their brands because that's his aim, that's his goal, that's who he wants to push his clothes towards. So seeing that, it's like like there's really no limit because you can work with anybody.
Right. But next question is, which brands do you think are coming to that concept that the audience members who have also a darker skin would like to know also which one you think is next one? Who's not there yet? Who benefits?
I believe that brands like the higher name brands, like let's say Ralph Lauren, I feel like using more darker models will work out better. I mean, they are working with it now, and it's evident in their progress. So within future collaborations, they are getting better with that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's change a little bit of subject. As a model, look, how do you source your gigs? Like, do you think the Model Mayhem or the Instagram or like agencies? What is the best way for you to book your gigs?
I'm also say your agency. I feel like with good management, anybody can balance anything. When it comes to your agency managing your gigs, I feel like that's pretty much the most important thing you could have, because if it's all on you, then you're gonna feel like you're stressing yourself out, or like you can't attend everything even though you really want to. So I feel like it's best to let your agency handle things like that for you.
How do you pick the right agency? There are a lot of scams out there, and there are a lot of fancy agencies. How do you find the right one for you?
Well, I believe that you should be able to see through the BS. Like you.
Well, is there any advice, like, or to see, like, what's
the personnel period? You can tell. Yeah, you can tell. Like with the person's personality, you should be able to tell when they're trying to create a fantasy for you to live, or they're trying to put this image in your head that you'll make a lot of money, but like there's no substance behind it. Okay. So I believe you should be able to tell.
Okay. If people want to follow you, what would be the proper Instagram?
Actually, you can just find me on Facebook, Gavin Andrews. Pretty much, you'll be able to find me. I'll be like the first of two people there.
Okay. Thank you. Cut. Good job. Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I have another model next to me. May I ask what's your name?
My name is Lakeem Mercer.
Lakeem, why do you think you're a model?
It's always something I wanted to do since I was younger. I've been pushed to do modeling ever since I was possibly 6 by my mom. I never really looked at it as a career, but as a
fun hobby.
Yeah, always looked at it as a hobby.
Like on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like New Year.
Yeah,
like today. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a diverse thing to do. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of hard work, and I do think it's something
what's hard about being a male model? Rejection.
Definitely, because there are more
long hours.
Yeah, long hours. Definitely with that, I think there's more.
Any expenses, expensive clothes, makeup, hair, what's there?
Yeah, because sometimes it's not always covered by agencies, so you have to do everything yourself.
A lot of casting. Okay.
Yeah, so I also think
a lot of networking.
Yeah, it's a lot of networking. It's a lot to do, and I also think being a male model compared to a female model is a lot different, because the female models tend to outweigh the male models most of the time.
You need lots of female models and you need just one male model, like, or if that.
Yeah, I noticed that
Guys
most of the
spend money,
time.
girls have big budgets.
Right.
So if you're a male model and the girls are spending money for their presents, for their boyfriend, for husband, for the father, for the brother, there is a
Yeah.
clientele. If you look really awesome and you look really sexy and you make move the whether it's facial product or whatever male products for the guys, there is a room for it, don't you think?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe there are some features where there are more for male, and then there are features that are for female. But I like how it's.
In terms of girls, they just sexy. They show a little bit of their skin and body, and that's already pretty in the picture.
Yeah.
For the guy, you really need to connect with the audience. You really need to produce results and move the dial and move the sales in order to be accounted as a model. So you actually bring some value to the table.
Right. That's one of the big things I think about being a male model is that you have to pretty much connect all around, and it depends on every audience because you are connecting with females that think you look attractive, and then you're connecting with males that kind of want to be like you and look like you. So it's definitely like a diverse background that you have to deal with.
Do you think being a model can lead you towards being a spokesperson, use the male modeling as the platform to advance some particular agenda, maybe a non-profit or a particular cause?
Yes, I mean, there are a lot of models out there now that speak political and they get their point across because they are also personnel. So I think being a male model in general, you just have to be willing to accept that you might have to speak out in the future and be political just in general stance. But I mean, also there might be sometimes you don't have to. You could be pretty much a little more quiet and just do your own thing and model.
But being political, it's let's say in the industry, people are concerned. Let's say, oh, he's white, he's black, like the color. So people try to be kind of diverse and fair towards the color. But political, some Republicans, some Democrats. So is it helping or actually can hurt? Because when you're modeling, you model for Republicans or Democrats. The reason you still have to do the jobs. Like, does it hurt or it's actually make a stand, help you to pick your own market?
I think it's definitely a little complicated as far. I believe it's definitely a stance where if you depend on your political party, but I feel like it's a way you can.
You're a Democrat, you would never model for, let's say, a brand like Trump ties or something like that.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't. I would just feel like I can always coexist with any political stance that someone stands for.
So if, let's say, it's against your particular policy as against your personal beliefs, you would not model for them. You have your own kind of code of conduct and honor.
Yeah, that would be like a tough situation. I would possibly not.
You
only
would
because
make your choice. Okay.
I would make that choice only because I believe in. I think as in general in the modeling industry is diverse, so it just depends on their stance of diversity too.
Do you think being part of the agency like Forte Models might help you to screen those brands that have bad reputation or not appropriate affiliations, so you don't get sided with the brands that might be linked to the drugs or narcotics or like trafficking, whatever the bad things is? The agency might actually see do some research for you and so you make comfortable when you model for some brand it's actual legit brand.
Yes, I believe that they wouldn't put me in harm's way, and they'll definitely look out and look behind the background of the certain agency that I'm doing and modeling for. I believe that in general stance also that it's just sometimes too behind agencies there are a lot of just a person, but not like the whole.
Gotcha. If the audience wants to follow you, what would be the Instagram?
I don't have Instagram.
Any,
I have
should they reach out
my
to
email.
Forte models?
Email is Mercer R Lakeem at iCloud.com, and I do have a Twitter. My Twitter is Prince Apocalypse, but there's like no E and it's 2 O's. PrinceApocolysp.
Thank you. Cut. After this, I'm gonna take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a male model next to me. Let's find out what's your name.
My name is Fernando.
Fernando. Why do you model?
I mean, I just like to express myself.
Does that is modeling help a platform for you to that help you to express yourself?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, that's how people see me. And
Okay. Is there anything particular that you want the audience to know about you?
I'm just a hardworking person, and like, yeah, I would say that.
I'm a shy person, and for me, having a camera and light in me help me out, be a little bit more outspoken and practice. Yeah, do you think the being on stage as a male model helps people to be more comfortable with the large number of people and the audience and speak up?
I mean, like, after a time, like, you get used to it. Like
Okay.
you get comfortable with it.
How did you find out about the Forte models?
Like, I mean, I was working in the man. He saw me and he talked to me like about it, and yeah, I said, why not? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there a way for the audience to follow you on Instagram or Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook you can follow me as Fernando Hernandez.
Okay. Thank you. No. Thank you, guys. A few words, but good looks. We can say, sometimes models don't speak. Sometimes models actually have agenda to share. Okay. Good job. I don't want to be overexposed, and I don't want him to be as one shadow. Exactly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have our great model next to me. As you can see, he has great traits. How do you take care of those?
Oh, my hair. How do I take care of my hair?
Yes.
I got to go and get it washed and conditioned every 2 months. Cost me about $150. It's a lot of money. So, yeah, I do that every 2 months and just keep it nice and luscious.
Okay. Do you think dreads helps you to book gigs?
Yes, I think dreads help me book gigs all the time. It's just a stigma. It's a new type of fad inside of fashion. That's why, my dreads have helped me book many gigs.
Is it difficult to walk around having dreads?
It's difficult in the summertime. It's kind of hot. In the wintertime, my hair gets wet. But and socially, nah, it's not that difficult.
Do you think girls like dreads?
Yeah, girls enjoy my dreads. I can tell you that.
To touch it, they like to look at it like.
Yeah, they like pulling on my hair. If that's the best way to put it, yeah.
I see. What about the any advice for the photographers and filmmakers from the male model perspective with dreads? Like how to best to see the texture of the hair?
All right, for the best texture of the hair for photographers and producers and whatnot, I would say shoot in low light or black and white. Highlighted or high resolution and then black and white, because the high resolution with proper lighting puts the shine onto the hair, and then when you throw it in black and white, it just shows how the layers of the hair itself.
I see. Okay. Tell us a little bit the connection between. I overheard you a little bit talking about the investments that you do in bitcoins and that kind of stuff. How those things is there any correlation between those things that you do and the male modeling?
There is some form of correlation because, not to get too in depth into the cryptocurrency, but you have to have money to be able to model. To some degree, you can't model without money. You have to have clothing. You have to buy the newest fashion trends, take pictures in it. So I utilize my stocks and its efficiency to buy things to model in, basically.
Okay, so modeling is a privilege. It's not for everybody. It's not just easy way to make money. It's more like something you have to spend money for fashion, right?
Yes, it is. It's a privilege. It's a hobby. As with everything, like you can't play drums without a drum set, and a drum set is expensive. So that's how it is.
Okay. Any advice for someone who would like to join the fashion world as a male model, or especially for the people of color?
Well, for all the POCs and people who are trying to break into this industry, honestly, just keep trying. That's it. Just take as many photos as possible.
Trying in what? Like take more photos or spend money and like,
Do not spend your time on the internet. Go outside. You meet more people outside than you meet on your phone. That is, I got scouted by skateboarding through 42nd Street. You can find somebody, an agent, anybody who will find you. It is simple. That's it.
okay, still do things.
Yeah, just do things. Empower yourself.
Okay. Is there any particular spots that you think it's more helpful than others? Like it has to be a busy street or a busy club or like a particular day of the week, or is there any?
All right, for some
Life hack.
for some life hacks, some clubs you need to go to. You go to One Oak, LeBain, Pianos, and if you want to be outside, you should be at nearby 14th Street, around 35th Street is good. Those type of areas.
Is there any? I would say a cliche messages that can distinguish yourself on the street as a male model versus just someone a nice looking kid. Like, is there like you wear like say a Nike in a bag, or you carry something, or you have like particular colors? Like, is there like a way to send a message to other folks that I model, I'm a male model?
It's the way that you handle yourself, like your persona, your demeanor. That's the only way that you can show that you're a model. It's not like your swagger, because anybody can look nice. I mean, I look at people who are 6'7", 6'6", 6'4", like myself, and I realize like they're definitely models, like just by their body types. Excuse me, and weight class.
Is it better to be by yourself, or it's in groups? Let's say you with the guys, and the guys see, oh, he's cool, everybody is around him. Or it's you by yourself, and people, it's easier to be approachable.
Personally, I'm quite introverted, so I like to be by myself. But I mean, when I'm in groups of people, I don't like. When I'm in groups of people, I don't like to have the spotlight on myself, because I'd rather like divulge it onto my friends. So, yeah, it's much better to be alone though.
If you have a choice of a company as with a female and a guy, male friend, what are the chances to be spotted as a model and get a gig as a male model? If you with a girl or just with the guys?
It's shocking that you asked that question, because you would probably get a gig faster with a male than you would with a female, which is weird that I would say that, but like due to the
someone dude is ugly looking and you look so awesome, so they can see the comparison. It's like
oh no, just some agencies don't enjoy you having a girlfriend.
some agencies don't enjoy you.
Having women, yes, on your side.
How come?
Due to
Would be the logic.
the stigma of modeling is the best way to put it. It's like the people
Gay or looking that
they're
sense?
see, okay, I guess you want to touch on touchy subjects. Yes, some of the agents are quite homosexual, and they would rather you be more prone to doing homosexual activity than having a girlfriend. So that's why it'd be easier to have a man with you than a female.
Okay, it's cool. Is there a way for the audience to follow you?
Yes, you can follow me at Instagram at Gristan Till, GRISTANTILL. Follow me on SoundCloud at Zoloft, ZOLOFT, and that's about it. Just follow me in life, like cosmically. Say it, Gil. Out.
Thank you. I have a male model of Asian orient, and let's find out what's your name.
Ian.
Ian. Is it difficult to be a male model coming from Asia, or a part of Asia, versus maybe all American white guys and the guys?
I think it's hard, cause for Asian it's kind of minority, you can say. Yeah, because like if you look on like a magazine, you can barely like find an Asian.
Are they required to have, let's say, Asian model just to have meet the check mark? Or are they actually looking specifically to have Asian model? Or is there any particular traits in market, let's say Hello Kitty or whatever the Asian brands that comes from that part of the world are more tend to use the Asian models? Is there any trend that you would see?
I don't see any. Like
There is no
there, I don't think.
there.
Yeah. Cause like if you like look on like the fashion show or something like runway, like 10. If you like 10 of the model, it's like there's probably only be like one Asian.
One Asian.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I see like on the show.
So, if the show will have like pretty much all Asian guys, is that hurting the show or helping the show? Like, is that particular? What's the Asian,
The purpose?
What's the key to Asian market?
What's the key?
Like, how do you attract those numbers? How do you make sales there? How do you get like through having a male model of Asian or heritage? You building that kind of audience, and they convert that to sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, is there like any particular traits that you see? Let's say you modeled before, right? Like,
No. First time.
First time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You look like a very a comfortable person that you done it before. So okay. What made you do modeling in the first place?
It's kind of like a hobby. Like I watch like the show, like the runway. Like
Why do you watch it? You can watch anything you want. You can watch cartoons.
Like interest, like you just want to watch it. Like you saw like the show and you just want to keep watching it because you're into that. You're into like fashion.
You could be into anything else, but why are you into fashion?
I think it depends like on the person. Like some people just like don't.
What's your
For me, I love fashion. Like
why?
because I love it.
Like, is there like because you grew up with the fashion, or
No, I don't
you wanna
grow
be a
up.
fashion designer, or you just like particular brands? Like, what do you get out of it? You happy when you watch fashion? Like, what's in it for you?
So I'm from China. So like
Okay.
when I was young, so like I don't really like into fashion.
Is it lack of fashion, let's say in China, makes you, and here it's more available, and that's why you love it? Or,
You can say that, yeah.
Or it's because you grew up with the like particular fashion. Like, what's the emotions behind it?
I feel like here is more like you have like more chance to like explore like the fashion.
You've been told by other folks that fashionable, or you just felt it inside of you.
I felt it. Yeah.
Okay. Which brands would you like to model?
Any brand.
Any brand.
Yeah.
Any
Just put it
preference?
in. No. Just like any brand,
Any brand. Okay. Do you have like a social media like Instagram, Facebook?
I have Instagram.
May I ask what is it?
Ian_Lee LEE and 1217.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mark here. He's a photographer, and he, as you can see, quite a bit in the fashion. Mark, can you tell us a little bit who you are?
If you put American photographer into Google, my fan page is there. You'll see like Cara Delevingne and Agnes Dean and Stella Maxwell. Those are street shots. Those are things I did on the street. I work in mainly natural light. I like doing a lot of locations. I've been shooting for over 50 years. I've been published in most magazines. Clients have got me into everything.
Why do you do photography?
Because I enjoy it.
After so many years, you're not bored with it. You still keep doing it.
Well, now we're working with the digital field. So we're pulling color, we're going into the actual image structure, There's 16 layers. We're busting it apart, twisting and bending, making multiples. The color is animated. We're working with about 800 million colors versus the normal 146 that you get RGB.
You've done it for the last 40 years, right? I'm sorry to interrupt you. What do you think the future is like for the next 40 years? What's your prediction?
Artwork. They're going to go one step further than just being a photograph. They're going to want to have something that goes on a T-shirt, and they can turn it into graphics now. So the thing of it is with the new programming, with the new way I'm doing it, I have developed DFIs, which is 12,000 DPI, so it can be made into a billboard. And the nice thing, it'll shrivel up so that you can put multiple on your iPhone, download it, and it's now giant because we can reduce them in the format.
Okay. Why do you shoot fashion?
I shoot fashion.
Male fashion, for example, for like today.
Uh,
Highlights for today's show.
Well, basically, what you're trying to do is accomplish something. You're trying to get something that you're not going to get. It's like a client will want you, and you've got an idea, so you've shot some specs, and you knock out really great stuff. The reason is it's always fun to work. You're at any age, because you're corresponding with people, you're moving the clothes, you see how they drop, they hit the body right, the client's happy, you're happy, and the talent, who doesn't know much when you're coaching them, turns around and knows a lot more, and they're very happy. Because if it goes into print, they're happy. If it just goes into a lookbook, they're happy. Or if it goes on the web, the way I shoot is to just keep shooting. I enjoy just shooting. I shoot cars, coins, buildings. I bend buildings. I twist coins. I do everything.
Question. For like today, you're an artist. I'm a little bit of an artist myself. I love paintings, and most of the painters care for the eyes, and they want to see your eyes. Right the moment I ask you to do the interview, you put your sunglasses. Do you think the sunglasses brings a little bit of more mystery, or you don't want to show the eyes to the audience? Like, what's the logic behind this?
Is to keep bright light out of the eyes because you don't know when the warranty is going to run out.
I see. Gotcha. Thank you. Is there a way to follow you on social media, Facebook,
All
Instagram?
you do is put American Photographer. My fan page is either 1, 2, or 3. It fluctuates daily. It depends on how many hits I get. I have a lot of well-known models there. And all I have to do is put American Photographer, and my Facebook page is right there.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mark. Done. Okay. We have a model next to me. Let's find out what's your name.
Edwin Rosario.
Edwin, why do you model? Why do you have this hobby?
Honestly, I'm gonna be very self-centered, but I actually just love the clothes. I feel like that's the way I can express myself to you guys.
Okay. Why do you think it's normal to be a little bit narcissistic, a little bit human, look at yourself and pay attention?
I mean, I feel like it's human nature. Like, we all have these insecurities, but like after a while, you're like, fuck it, I'm bomb at this thing. Somebody else is not. Like, you can shit on people, which is bad to say, but like.
We have the kind of proper language interview. let's stick to the.
Let's keep it PG.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's just human nature. It's like we're proud of something and we want to show it to somebody else that they can't do it as well. So like we try to help them like have this positive energy inside them as well.
Okay. Do you think the culture of building those, making those selfies and taking pictures changed the perception that it's okay to take your picture, it's okay to be good looking, it's okay to have a good poses? In the past, they thought everybody, or the minute you start like male modeling, they think, oh, you're narcissistic, you just love yourself, you just in love with yourself. Nowadays, everybody take those pictures, those selfies, so it's less of a guilt, less of a trouble in the society eyes.
Yeah, I feel like to you to like always look at yourself, it's like to believe like you belong somewhere because you're always inside yourself. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like you're that's a really good question.
Okay, as you can see, male models, we usually look good, but not always good in talking. So only a few of us get to move to have the acting roles and the speaking roles. Or on the other side, it just takes practice. Get used. It's your first interview today, right? So
Yeah, more or less first interview.
once
Just doing great questions.
so then it's easier.
Yeah, you're doing great questions.
Maybe we
out
need a
here.
little bit more coffee.
Man, I gotta
Okay.
wake up.
Is there a way for the audience to follow you? Do you have Instagram,
Yikes.
Facebook?
I actually went off the grid, so I'm like really undercover until like
Okay, so the Forte models would be the best place to reach out.
yeah. And Snapchat as well.
What's the Snapchat?
It's music_BRO. So it's music_bro.
Are you a DJ? Do you sing?
I wish I want to be a DJ, but I don't. I'm a bad mixer. The only hobby I really have would be somewhat skateboarding.
Skateboard. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and stand up. I love
And
making
stand
people
up?
laugh. Yeah, I love making people laugh.
You like to make people laugh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you have a joke for the audience?
No, I'm a terrible joke person. I wish.
I should learn more male model jokes and pranks, so that might help. Next one.
Where is it? You just gotta be in the moment. You can't like always practice something.
But the rehearsal helps. So you practice, you learn, and it's at some point it's come out better.
Yeah. But you know, like you could rehearse every single day, but it's not gonna be like how you want it sometimes.
Okay.
So like it's good to rehearse. Yeah, that's correct.
You want to have original.
Yeah.
That when it's happening, the art at the moment.
Living in the moment.
Gotcha. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Cut. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a male model next to me. Let's find out what's your name.
My name's Hailey.
Hailey, why do you modeling?
I really enjoy it. I like the whole industry, and I like just getting like, it's kind of like artwork in the end. Like when the photograph is finished, like everything's just right. Like the clothing, the lighting, the pose is just right, and you definitely get better with practice.
Do you have family support for your hobby, or it's something that you rebel against?
It's not really like, I wouldn't say they support it, but they're not really against it. It's more like something I'm doing on my own. It's not like something they're really involved in, but they're not like against it or anything.
Okay.
So I guess in that sense, like they're supportive, but they just don't. It's not like this active support, like where it's like really like a financial thing or something.
You go to the show, they would not come as an audience.
I mean, they wouldn't refuse to come. I mean, it's not as likely that they would come because they live out of state, but I mean, they would come like if they could. I think they would come.
Do you think if family supports, it helps?
I think it does, yeah. I think there's like two ways to approach it. I think like you can look at it as like it's your rebellious thing and then it's you're doing it in spite of something, or it's also like nice if you feel like they do support it and then you can feel like good about it in that sense. So I guess you can approach it either way.
Let's talk about money. Some of us are really wealthy and some of us are really poor. How it's difficult it is to compete with the male models who have obscene amount of money, like trust fund babies. Those kids, they have those buildings, they inherit, they born with obscene amount of money, and someone else is just coming off the boat from another country and has no money. Everybody basically on the same playing level. Like, how do you compete against someone of those trust fund babies?
It is challenge. Like the financial part is a huge part of it, because like especially if you live in New York City, it's like you're so focused on just like basic stuff, like, you know, just basic financial stuff and work, and so that takes a lot of time.
If let's say we have two models competing for the job in the commercial, so you both have pretty much the same looks, pretty much the same, you know, demographics and everything, but one has a lot of money and family support and a ton of no financial worries whatsoever. Another person is actually making a living as a model. Like, how is there any particular advice how to level the field?
I guess I would just make it a priority. Like, even if you can't like make your complete living at modeling right away, just, you know, use your free time instead of just doing what everybody else does, like watching television, whatever. Just use that to work on your modeling career, so you can, you know, until you get to the point where it does become like a full-time job and you are making money. Is there a way for the audience to follow you? Do you have like Instagram, Facebook? I'm highly.7 at Instagram, and the Facebook is highly Mruzek.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Cut. Okay. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, so my name is Aiken Brown. I'm 5'9". I was born in Trinidad. I came here in 2006. I want to study psychology, but I also like modeling simply because I love fashion. I like to say that I like to dress my soul. And I mean, I feel like fashion is like life to me. And it feeds.
Why? Why it like?
Because I like to be different. Like, I remember seeing Jaden Smith one time. He was like in a Louis Vuitton campaign, and he wore like this like leather skirt, literally. And I was just like, wow, like, looks good on him, one. And it also was like a push to the level of not being so similar and the same to all the other models in the industry.
But why do you like to be distinct and different?
I think it's just in my nature. I mean, like, I don't. Why is it in my nature? That's a good question. I just feel like it's a part of me naturally.
It's something that you grew up, like you always had it, or you just recently came, or you think it's going to be forever with you, or it's just a phase?
Like, as like my personality wise, like,
like loving fashion.
Oh, honestly, like fashion.
When you're 90 years old, you still gonna love fashion?
Yes, for sure. And it was recent. Like recently, like maybe like 3 years ago, I was just like, wow, like I really like fashion. Before I was just like, whatever. I was like more into like going to school and being more academic. But now, like, I just noticed like everything I look into, it's like, oh, that's real cool. Like, I wanna see like how you could push that to make it better.
Okay, let's talk about the distinction between fashion in New York and fashion back home in Trinidad. Is there any particular differences?
Honestly, I would say it's pretty...
Well, fashion is fashion no matter which country.
Fashion is fashion no matter what, and it's also according to the individual. But I feel like fashion in Trinidad was pretty bland. Like, it was pretty like...
Is it like specifically influenced by a particular couple of artists and that's it? Or
well, I mean, honestly, like in Trinidad, like it's real tribal. Like everyone's like, it's like real relaxed. Like compared to here, like say like Jaden Smith wearing a skirt in Trinidad, yeah, no, like it's probably not be the best. I think you're more freeing. Like you have more capabilities in New York. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a lot better here. But I mean, that's why I also like it, because I'm Trinidadian. Like I feel like I want to be the one to push the boundaries and be known for who I am.
Is there any big names from Trinidad in the fashion?
Right now, like only people that I know, like as like a celebrity, is like Nicki Minaj. Like she does like really avant-garde stuff. I think like it's really pushed to the limit. And I mean now Cardi B, she's like a mix. She's new, and I think that's one of the reasons I would want to be, because I feel like we don't get enough representation.
If people wants to follow you, what would be the way, like Instagram?
Oh, my Instagram is B Nuke. That's I.B.N.U.K.E, which is essentially my initials. I Brown Nuke.
Thank you.